GM taking the survey and agreeing to those terms puts the company on notice, and it affects every auto worker globally. Chrysler got a special case to be dealt with at Chrysler's negotiation. All of them are going to be dealt with at the same time because they all coming together because they already got their instructions. They waiting on the worker to be able to perceive salvation of his labor in front of them. That's what they waiting on. They not going to deal until the worker wake up to the fifth dimension. Then they going to deal. But the side effect on the negative side, the longer it take the worker, they have a negative effect about to emerge within days. And it's not going to be pretty. To avert the negative effect, we have to activate the positive. Alchemy. You turn the negative into the positive. You turn the shit into the gold. And this is how we do it. I hope it's clear enough for y'all to understand how it worked, and that y'all participation, every single person that take the survey and share the survey, is instrumental in taking us into the fifth dimension. Breaking the fucking matrix. We all get our eyes open now. This is how we do it. So, hopefully we all in on it. Because whoever think this is a game or they think that it's something other than the truth, they gonna be stuck here. Because they gonna be stubborn and hard-hearted and hard-headed. And mama said a hard head make a soft ass. I don't know if it make it soft, but I know it make it so. I've experienced that. So, from here, let's see how many people really want to get from under the oppressor's foot. It's real simple. I couldn't make it no easier than a 8-9 question survey. That's the easiest thing I could come up with. I couldn't come up with nothing easier to get everybody on one page about some righteous shit other than the survey. That's 8, not even 10 questions, maybe 9. But I couldn't come up with a simpler way to move us into the fifth dimension than to make everybody want to be treated fair at work. That's it. I can't think of nothing simpler. That's the simplest thing I could think of. So if this can't go viral, I don't know, y'all people in trouble. Because I'm going to take my little 2-3 people that I done got, we out of here. We leave. I'm going to the fifth, regardless. Yep, Chanel, you right. This it. This the big bang. This the resurrecting day. When this go viral, hopefully we go viral before these sleeper cell police start activating. That's the thing that I'm more concerned about right now than the worker. Because when they start activating these killer cops, whew, it's not going to be pretty this time. Because I got soldiers everywhere that's also been awakened. And they act on their own without orders in the face of injustice. This ain't like it was when Obama was leaving office and George Soros was trying to get that shit started so that they could take over. This ain't the same. So we can't allow this tragedy to begin to unfold when we have an opportunity to do something about it. This is how you fix it. This is what we do. We use the alchemy. We use the tools that was given us. We use the tools we used against us before, and we use them to our advantage. The same shit they use to oppress us, we use to break the bonds of oppression. It's right here in front of us. It's not hard. Take the survey, share the survey. 100 Monkeys is 100 UAW workers that's on strike. Mastermind Group are all of the people that take the survey in support of them. The first column, make it clear in y'all posts, the first column is agree. The second column is disagree. We needed a list of demands. International didn't have a comprehensive list, so that's comprehensive. That's the beginning. That's just to get the negotiation started and to get the mastermind group woke. So that all these motherfuckers will wake up and see I ain't never been crazy and I ain't never been the enemy. And I always been for them 1,000% out the gate from word go. And I worked with them side by side, and I even went above and beyond for some of them, and even helped them on other stuff that ain't got shit to do with work, because they good people, and all they need to be treated is fair, and all this miserable shit can be gone. Treat the worker fair. That's it. Don't nobody want no extra shit. Don't nobody looking for no handout. Give me what I earned. Don't take the bread out of my children's mouth and expect me to sit the fuck here silent. How am I going to explain that to my son? I didn't say nothing and I knew the answer. How do I explain that as a man when my son become a man and say, Dad, you knew the answer? You knew how to lay this shit down and you didn't do it? What's wrong with you? He gonna be like Huey on damn, Pops, you old bitch ass Pops. I ain't finna be bitch ass Pops. I'm saying something. And I'm not going to shut the fuck up. I'm going to keep saying something until them people that's out there busting their ass for these pig trough filling bonuses, these executives getting flying all over the goddamn world, and a motherfucker can't retire with artificial hips and shit. What the fuck kind of shit is that? There's no righteousness in that, and there's no justice in that, and there's no fairness in that. Compensate the worker everywhere, and you heal the planet. Because when people can properly take care of home, they can properly take care of their family. And when you got a properly taken care of family, you produce a proper society. It's all fucking relative. Unified field theory. Mastermind group. 100 monkey effect. Execute. That's the plan. I couldn't make it no simpler than a little survey. That's the proposal. That's the proposal. So let's see what we can do. And I'm going to cut it here. Y'all know what to do from here. I did my part. So we start at 8:55. Secrets to learning. Yesterday, I got the key to the miseducation of the Negro. So today, I'm going to unlock a couple mental padlocks for us. I'm going to show us the method of breaking the cycle of perpetual ignorance. All right, so I'm going to get my invites in. So if y'all believe in educating your child correctly, educating them in a manner where they're not victims to a system of oppression, they can move beyond all of the tools and the techniques of oppression placed in their path. This will open the mind up. Now, I got a couple of things that I'm going to suggest, but I want to go over a little bit about the learning curve, what it means, how it works, and how do we get from learning something new to a better position, a more optimum position of incorporating new information at a human's pace. So in our current system of education, as you've seen my post last night, there is a concerted effort to dumb us down. If they know how to dumb us down, then they know how to prop us up mentally. They know how to exalt us educationally, right? So once you know how the mind works and you know what the mind does when it files information, it gives you a better understanding of how the mind can be programmed. So I'm going to do a couple more invites here, and we're going to get off into the proceedings this evening. People love, to do stuff for the children. So the education should incorporate a couple of things. Parents
now are taught to teach their children how to be oppressed. Now, that don't even sound like some shit we ought to be teaching our kid, but we don't know we teach it to them. So we teach our children how to be oppressed. In order to successfully be oppressed, you need to ignore the oppressor. You need to ignore the oppression. And anyone who comes to try to break the condition, you must rebel against that motherfucker before he wake your ass up. Right? Hey, Carolyn. So, the mind is the same format as a computer in three parts. Short-term memory. Short-term memory in a computer is called RAM, RAM. And the RAM's job is to temporarily hold the file until it can be stored successfully in the hard drive. The more short-term memory you have, the more you can hold at the forefront of the mind before you push it into the filing system in the hard drive. What we call our hard drive is the subconscious mind, where it stores the data. The subconscious mind can only hold so much information, and then it takes you into what they call the universal stream of consciousness, where all of the masters' minds go. Right, so we sit here, we tell our kids we don't teach them nothing at home. We let them learn everything at school, and we don't do no follow-up at home, and we think that that's it. We did our part. We sent them to school this morning. Sending them into a cattle learning system. That's not normal. The four-wall method of learning, you can study about it with Dr. Neely Fuller's Breaking the Chains of White Supremacy, the United Independent Compensatory Code. The four walls method is designed that way so while the learning process is taking place, the sight, the actual three-dimensional visual sight is limited to the four walls in the room. If you start looking at schools now, you'll notice that they're starting to black the windows out. They're starting to black the windows out because children's minds naturally gravitate toward the open space of outside. This is where the mind of the child naturally, especially before they're like 8. So I got a message this morning that let me know what my video should be about. Somebody asked me for some educational tips for a 10 to 12-year-old young girl. Well, anybody that got a child 8 to 12, take one summer and get them a speed reading class between 8 to 12. When they go through that class, they're going to learn speed reading. It normally takes about 3 months to get it down pat where you are a successful speed reader. Right? Now, why do you teach them speed reading? Look-see reading slows the brain down. When you read 1 or 2 words at a time, you have to wait for the brain to process the words individually. Well, speed reading does something to the mind. It creates what you call a panoramic view of the page. And what that means is, instead of just taking the words that's on the paper, the brain in speed reading paint the whole picture that the page is describing in a matter of the same amount of time that it took them to read 1 word. This allows them several things. This allows them to create a larger RAM, short-term memory, a more organized hard drive, long-term memory, and once the short-term memory and the long-term memory are both working in what you call an optimum fashion, then the brain begins to feed off information that it can't get in the 3D. We call it fourth dimensional resonance, or we call it the superconscious mind. Before they trap the spirit beings in the physical bodies with the science, the fourth dimension is where we kept what you call Akashic records, and we had access to them mentally from here. The physical, but you're not what you've been told you are. You are not a body first, you see. You existed before this body, and you're going to exist when the body is gone. The body allows you to experience a third dimensional fixed position reality in a form that's conducive to the reality you live in. The problem happens is when you lose sight of who you are in elementary. Now, the speed reading techniques are various. Evelyn Woods is the older version. Howard Berg is a newer version, and there's many in the middle. And there's some even newer than Howard Berg now, because he's been out over 20 years. But he's one of the best. We all heard this guy, Kevin Trudeau, cures your doctor don't want you to know about, more cures and stuff like this. But back in the 80s, he used to air infomercials and promote product for Mensa. Mensa is a organization of geniuses that get all drafted into this place, and they all help each other succeed in life without having all they shit took by the system. So it had to be a smart motherfucker to start that. Okay, so now, once they got speed reading down, one summer before they go into junior high, get between 8 and 12, get them speed reading class for that summer. That one summer of speed reading is going to be equivalent of 8 years of education. Now, what do they do once they learn the speed reading? You get them a comprehensive dictionary of the English language if you speak English. If your first language is French or Spanish or Arabic, whatever it is, once they got the speed reading part down, they don't need nobody telling them what to think. They're learning how to think in this manner. They need to know what all of the words in the language they speak. You give them the dictionary on the weekends if they don't have homework. We're trying to get out of this four walls education method anyway. But if they don't have homework, their homework would be to read the dictionary. You know? And then as they get better at speed reading, they'll be able to run through a 2,000 page dictionary in about 45 minutes to an hour. But you want them to read the dictionary of the language at least 7 times as soon as possible once they have adjusted their or has assimilated their speed reading. The practice book should be the dictionary because the words and the understanding of the words, context and usage is more important than learning correct spelling. You can correct the spelling, but once they get it in their brain, they're going to all be spelling bee caliber spellers anyway, because all of the words are there. The dictionary begins each definition with the word, addiction. This is why it's called a dictionary. A diction key, how the word is pronounced, and then a descriptive explanation of what the word means. Now, one of the things that I found kind of odd was I found out when I first started teaching myself how to read that if a person doesn't know what a word means and he go look it up, he end up finding out what another word means because it's a word in the definition he don't know. This is called chain referencing, something like they do in Bible study with the Thompson chain reference. and study word for word, this word lead to that word, to that word, to that word in the book. So you look this word up, it's a word in definition, you don't know, you look that word, familiar you spent. But by giving them the tools early, right? They got the speed reading and their minds can expand now. Now they need what formula? The formula is the words. So that's why you get them the dictionary. The one I got is called the Webster's Unabridged Encyclopedic Dictionary of the English Language. Is about 4.5 inches thick, if not 6. So I read that. I've been reading that book for years. Only thing I've been reading, other book I read that long, excuse me, is the Bible, because my mom had me reading the Bible. And so once I go through there, we get the speed reading down, we get the dictionary down, what's next? You get them a book of mathematical formulas to study. Tell them don't try to remember it,